Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Claritysoft's webinar for Tuesday, May 7th, 2019. I'm Susan Arnold, Implementation Specialist here at Claritysoft, and today's topic is Claritysoft for Beginners. This particular webinar is designed for those of you that are just getting started with using Claritysoft, or perhaps maybe you've been away from it for a while and need a little bit of a refresher. So our goal is to get you started with it, go over the basic concepts of how the database works, and get you comfortable with the screen layout and the processes within the database. So let me go to our agenda. First of all, with Claritysoft, when you purchase your license, you get access to 3 different versions of Claritysoft. 2 are web-based, 1 is an installed version. Live is the version that you are most likely working with. That is our web-based, browser-based version. And then we also have a mobile version for your mobile phone. You can download an app from the App Store for an iPhone or an Android phone. And then when you are out and about, you can bring up your Claritysoft on your phone and work with your data in there, adding your activities, completing your activities, opportunities, everything that you would do on the Claritysoft Live. And then the third version we have is called Offline. This version you may install on your computer if you have a PC. It does not work on a Mac. And then you may access Claritysoft offline, meaning you do not have to have an internet connection. So if you travel quite often, you can install offline on your computer and then make sure that you synchronize before you leave to bring down the most current version of your data to your local computer, and then you can work offline. And once you get back to an internet connection, you sync the data back up to the server. So all 3 of those are available to you depending on your situation. First of all is do an overview of the different modules, just a quick overview, describe what they do. Navigating within the database, as with all new software, navigation in the software is important so you know where you're going, what you're doing, how to get there, how to get back, those kinds of things. The other thing that you can do within your Claritysoft, each user has the ability to set up your own screen layout, the columns that you see in the list view in the different modules. And so we'll show you how to do that so that you can make sure that you're looking at the data that you wish to see while you're working in the database. And then we'll go through a basic workflow, starting in the leads module, adding a new lead, converting it to an account and contact, and creating an opportunity, convert that to a quote, convert that to a sale, so that you see the flow of data throughout the whole database. Now, it's possible, depending on your company, you may not be using all the different modules in the system. You may not see all the modules because your admin person can control what you see and do in the database. So if you see things that you don't see in your database, don't panic. It just means your database is set up differently than mine. So with that, let's go to Claritysoft. And this is the login screen for Claritysoft Live, which is the, I guess, kind of the desktop version of the browser-based. For Claritysoft Live, we do recommend that you use Google Chrome as the browser. Once you open the browser, click in the address line up here and type claritycrm.com and then press the enter key. You will come to this login screen. I also have a screen up here with the mobile version showing. I'll just quickly show you that. On your mobile phone, you can either open a browser on your mobile phone and do claritycrm.com there, or you can go to the App Store, look for Claritysoft, and then download the app, which will put an icon on your phone for you. But it's the same thing. It's resized for the phone, so you enter your username, your password, and your database name to sign in. So either one or when you're out and about, you can do that. Need to get back to my button here. And so you should have been given a username. The username is not case sensitive, so it doesn't matter whether you use caps or not. The password is case sensitive. And then your database name is not case sensitive. So you can put that in. Once you type these, if you click the Remember Me checkbox, then the next time you go to log into Claritysoft, the only thing you will have to enter is your password. I'm not going to do that because I log into many different databases. Once you come into the database, you will see on the left-hand side in a dark blue area what we call the navigation panel. And the navigation panel shows you the different modules that you can go to. And right now you can see that I am in the accounts module because it is highlighted with a little bit lighter blue, and you can see accounts up here at the top of the screen. This part of the screen is called the list view. We're looking at a list of all of our accounts or the companies that we work with. If I click on contacts, I will switch to a list of all my people that are associated with my accounts. And you can see here that I can have multiple people with the same account. As you can see, that 3M Company New York account name is listed multiple times, one time per person that's associated with 3M Company. So your contacts list always will show you all your people separately. Your account list will show you your companies separately. Here's 3M Company. And if I open 3M Company, there is a contacts tab that when I click on it shows me all of my contacts. So you can see the contacts at the account level, or you can go to the contact level to work. Does not matter in Claritysoft where you work because all the data is all interconnected. And you can see here, once you open an account record, first of all, it will say account at the top, so you know you're in an account record. You'll see the name of the company and the address information. Then down here, you see what we call our tabs area. And each of your tabs shows you all the data that's connected to this particular account. So when I click on the Details tab, these are the different fields of information for 3M Company New York. It's going to give you the name of the account. You may or may not see this account number, depending on how your database is set up. You have a status field. Now, again, you may not see this because this is a custom field. Yours may say something different. It might say account type or account status or whatever, and it might be a different list. So this is a custom field. And then you have your phone fields, website. Owner field will be the name of the user, one of you, who owns the record, who's in charge of that record, okay? And then these sector and type fields, again, are custom fields. Yours might say industry, market segment, all kinds of different things. So you just have to look at that. And then the same thing here with type. This is actually a repeat of this one up here. And then here's another custom field, product interest. So these are different custom fields. Some of the fields are ones that you simply type in. They're text fields. Others are drop-down fields where you can select one or more options. If you see checkboxes, you can select multiple options in the field. Here, there are no checkboxes, so I can pick one or the other. The person can't be both a prospect and a customer. They can be one or the other. So then that's a drop down, and those are custom fields. You have your address information, another custom field that you just simply type into, and then this lead sources field, this will have a drop down list of how your new accounts come to you. Again, this list will be different in your database, so don't panic that your list is not the same. It depends on how it was set up. So all of this is what makes Claritysoft really special in a lot of ways, in that you can customize it to fit your particular business, because not everybody has the same lead sources. Not everybody has the same kinds of data that they need to track, because it depends on your particular business type. All records will have a creation date. So that will tell you when the record was created in the database. If you import a list of records, then obviously they will all have the same creation date for when they were imported. Note, this cannot be changed, because that's something it tracks for you from the very beginning. Then the last edit date will change, because as you open a record, you make a change to one of the fields here, and then save it, then this will update. So for example, I just added this education sector here. If I go down and click save, you'll note that the last edit date updates itself to today's date. And the save button, what it does is it saves the data for the record and leaves the record open for you. Save and close down here will save the record and close it, returning you back to ListView. So now you can see my last edit date is today. All right. Last touch date means the last date of an activity that was completed. So I haven't contacted this company since last October. Shame on me for not getting to them. But if I add and complete an activity, then that date will update itself. And you may search for, all the companies where the last touch date was greater than 30 days ago, 60 days ago, things like that. So that will keep track or allow you to help stay in touch with the various companies that you're working with. And then these two fields I don't need to talk about right now. So if I go, like I said, contacts tab, I see my contacts. I can open a contact record from here. But right here, I can see the title, the phone number, the cell phone, the email, and who the owner is. So if I wanted to email someone, I could click on the email address right here, and it would open an email form right within Claritysoft. I can type the email and send it directly from within here. This will go out through your Outlook or your Gmail, depending on what you're using, but it goes out through your current email program. So that's part of that. Then this one, Open Activities, shows you all your activities that you have scheduled to do. Now, this is a demo database, so you can see that these are really, really old. Closed activities are activities that are completed, and they will show you the date that you started it, the date that you completed it. So whenever you complete an activity, it will move itself over. So for example, this test activity here, we'll do send samples. This was supposed to be done in October of 2015. So if I want to complete this, I can open the record and then I can put in here sent on. And notice I have a complete button down here. When I click this, it's going to complete the activity. It's no longer under open activities because it's done, but it will be under closed activities. Notice the start date was 2015, October, and the completed date is today of 2019. So it only took 4 years to get that finished. Obviously, you would be doing this in a more logical manner or more timely manner. But you can see that the activities will move from one place to the other just by you completing it. And then you can see your history here of all the things that you've done. You may click on any one, open it, read your notes that you have added. And then you just simply go along. If you wanted to see the opportunities that you have, these are your sales opportunities that you've done with this company, and it will show you the sales stage that you're at. It will show you the close date that was anticipated and the amount. So all of this information is right at your fingertips for an account by opening the record and clicking on the various tabs inside the record. When you're finished, you simply click Save and Close. That just says another user might be doing something, and you're back to your list view. So that's just a quick overview of looking at an open record in the database. The other thing that you want to know how to do in here is for ListView, I'm only seeing 4 data columns here, which, okay, these are helpful, but I had the status field and I had the sector and type and those kinds of things, which would be way more helpful. I may also want to know where they are, what state or city are they in, because I might want to search on that. So we can change this here very easily, and this is user oriented, so only, whatever change you make doesn't affect anyone else. And the way that you do that is to come up here in the upper right, go to your vertical ellipsis button, go to column settings, and then on the left, you're going to see all of your fields listed in alphabetical order. So I can just simply come over here and say, well, I want to see city, drag it over and drop it. If I want to see that last touch date field, I can bring that over. If I want to see, here's the sector. I might want to see product interest, status, and here's state. So again, depending on the custom fields that you have in your database, you will see all of them listed here, and you can bring any ones over that you want. Now, website, right now, I don't really find it terribly important to see, so I'm going to push it to the left. Doesn't matter where you drop it over here, because Claritysoft will resort the list for you automatically. So again, I can move these around. Let's say I want to bring that up here. Then down at the bottom, you get to choose, well, how do I want to sort my list? It defaults to sorting by account. So if you just choose account, but you can choose other things as well. And then it's in ascending order, which means A to Z. Descending means Z to A. Results per page, the default number is 20. That means you can see 20 accounts per page. And then down here in the lower right, it tells you you currently have 16 pages at 20 per page. I'd like to increase it. There's 50 and 100. I like to set it at 100 just because I can scroll up and down and see more records per page, but that's up to you. Then when you click apply, you will see all the columns that you selected now in view. You will see down here results per page is 100. The total number of account records that we're looking at is 311. And now instead of 16 pages, we have 4. So because there are 100 records per page. And over here now, I can scroll. So I can scroll to see 100 records at a time before I have to come down to the lower right and click the next button on the page. But you're not going to do that very much, because the next thing you're going to learn how to do is find a specific record. So if I am searching for a record, because 311 isn't a lot, but you might have 5,000, or 10,000, you're certainly not going to scroll from page to page to page hunting for it. So what we've got here is a box at the top left called the quick search box. And what you do is you start typing a combination of letters in here that's part of a company name. You don't have to type the whole name. You just type the part that you want or know, and Claritysoft will then search. And I didn't do anything. I just simply typed AMER and I stopped typing and my hands are off the keyboard. So notice what it did is it found everything with AMER in it. It does not have to be at the beginning. Here's Advance America and here's American Airlines. So whatever combination of letters you type, as long as it finds them somewhere within the name of the company, it will pull that record out. So this is really helpful because sometimes you might forget exactly how something is spelled. And if you type just a few letters that you know, then it will pull up anything that matches. And then you can find the one that you were looking for, because maybe I was going to BP Corporation North America. So if I was going there, at this point, I can open the record and begin to work with it. Now here's another little trick. Note that BP Corporation and all these company account names are hyperlinked in blue text. So if I click on it, it will indeed open the record. However, in other modules, you're going to find that there will be two hyperlinked choices. One will be the company name, one will be the contact name, one might be the order number and the sales record, or the opportunity name and opportunities. And because we tend to click on the leftmost column, and that's where the account column might be, you would open it by accident. So here's the habit I want all of you to get into. Note this file folder icon. If you always, always, always click on the file folder icon next to the name of whatever record you're in, it will always open the correct record. So I'm in the account record, and here's my detail for BP Corporation North America. So in here, maybe I might want to make a change. I don't have a sector or a type set for them. So I want to come in here and I want to choose what they're in. So I'll put them in manufacturing. That's not necessarily true. And what are they? We'll make them a prospect. So you want to fill these fields in. Now I will mention this too. I just said that manufacturing doesn't necessarily match what this company is. If you find that to be true in your database, you go to click on a drop-down list that's their industry type or something like that, and what's there doesn't have a good match, go to your admin person, and the admin person can add an additional option to this list. So don't hesitate to do that, especially if you are just starting with Claritysoft. A lot of times when you're just starting and people are designing and thinking through the options, they might miss one. So don't fudge it and put something that isn't quite a match. What I should do is go put them into, probably this is the oil industry. I should add a choice of oil industry here and make it correct, because then for searching and for doing work with them, you would be finding them with the right criteria. So those are the things that you can do. And then you can click Save and Close, and now we will see the sector information here for them. And I brought status over instead of type. So let me go back in here and set the status. I have two fields that basically are the same, which shouldn't be. So here he's prospect and they're in manufacturing. So that's how you're going to open a record, edit a record, save and close, brings you back out, and that's also how you search. Notice that because the AMER is still up here, it's not going to go back to my full list until I click this little X to clear. And then it will take me back to my full list. And then I could search for the next company that I want to look for and work with. And essentially, that's what you do in all of the different modules. You can go to the contacts module and you can search for a specific contact. Now, here's where you have the multiple hyperlinks. This will open the account, this will open the contact record, and this will open an email. So if you click over here, you're going to open the contact record, which is where you are headed, all right? And then you can do things in here. So use that file folder icon, and that will help you not get lost. It's part of the navigation. The other thing you can do to help yourself is go to the vertical ellipsis button, take contact, and make it the topmost field, which means it's the one on the left. So if you do tend to click here, you're going to open the contact record. Also here in the quick search, you can either search for a person, and you'll find everybody with ERIC in it. Now notice here. Here we have Eric Schiffer, but here we have Kenneth Compton. Why in the world did we get Kenneth Compton? The reason is he's at Advanced America. Eric is in the middle of America, okay? So this one searches for both company and contact name. Now, if I simply typed a space after Eric and then hit the enter key, notice now I have all the Erics and I've lost all the ones with Eric in the company name. So practice with this, you'll get the hang of it. It's really quick and easy to find the things that you're looking for. I could also type the person's last name if I knew it, or part of the last name. If I just started typing KRAS, and then I did hit the enter key to speed it up a little bit, so you can do that. So use this quick search because you're not going to wade through pages and pages of records to find one record. This is the purpose of this, is to search quickly, click the X to clear it, and go back to your complete list. All right, now let's do some other things here. You can, I'm going to go back to accounts real quick. And in accounts, we have the status field, we have the sector, we have product interest. So these are category type fields. Notice I do have some that are blank, which is not good. I want to, at some point as I'm working with these people, I want to make sure I fill in the status so that when I do a search, I get accurate information. Because if I search on customer, I will get customers. If I search on products, I will get, or prospects, I will get prospects. But if these guys are blank, unless I search for blanks, I won't get them in either search that I do. So it's very, very important to make sure that your custom fields or all your fields are filled in so that you can do accurate searching, because that's one of the great advantages to using a database like Claritysoft, because you can easily search on categories, and sometimes you may want to do that for different purposes. So if I come up here, we have a little spyglass button. I'm going to click on it, do an advanced search, and then I have the different fields here that I can search on. So for example, if I wanted to find everybody in the manufacturing sector, click in the checkbox to select it, click search. Manufacturing sector is the only option in all the fields, and I have found a total of 38 records. So because I've got that set to viewing 100, this is where it's the advantage. You can come over here and scroll to see all 38 records. If I only had it set to 20, I'd have to go to a second page. Now, for some reason, I got these guys. I'm not sure. They should not show up. Oh, what did I do? Did I clear something? No. So I have, oh no, we're sector. I didn't look on status, excuse me. So all of these are in the manufacturing sector. And it's a mix of customers and prospects, all right? So let's say I want to do all the customers in the manufacturing sector. Up here where it says Advanced Search View, I have 3 buttons, and I can click on Edit View so that I don't have to start completely over with the filter that I've created. I can edit it, go to Sector, and then Status Customer. So now these both have to be true. Customer, manufacturing. Customer, manufacturing, and we're now down to 18 records. And then remember that we're not going to see any of the ones that are blank. So they're kind of lost until you fill those in and fix them. So that's how you can do an advanced search view. You can go to the spyglass, go to advanced search, set things up. You have different ways to filter there. I won't go into detail with all of those because we cover that in other webinars, but just explore. When you're done with this advanced search view, you click the X to cancel, and it takes you back to your full list. So practice with that. Come up here, choose advanced search, and do it. So all the modules work very much the same way. If I go to opportunities, all my opportunities that I've created for all records are in the opportunities module. And again, I've set up my columns here the way I want to see them. Yours may be different, so you can go to your vertical ellipsis button and set your columns. Notice here too, we have 3 possible hyperlinks. Always click on the file folder icon and it will open the correct record. We're in the opportunity module, so it will open the opportunity record. Just get in that habit and you'll never have a problem navigating within Claritysoft. And then again, inside your opportunity record, you have a details tab. You have products and services, which you'll list your products and services. You can create activities in the opportunity. You can see, you can add attachments to all your different modules. These are documents that you can attach. This will also track a sales stage history. And then you can see your account information here. So here are all your data fields for the account if you needed to see what they are, you know, see information here, and you can also see the contact information. So my suggestion is just get in there, go to a module, set up your columns, open a record, explore. You can't do any real harm. In fact, what you could do, the best thing to do would be to create a sample record and just play with that record, and then later it can be deleted once you're comfortable. So just work with that, go to your different modules and look. So what I want to do now is I want to walk through the process to follow in Claritysoft. And again, yours may be different because of the way your database is set up. But typically, people may start in the leads module. Leads are where you put any new leads that you get. You might pick up a business card at somebody you met somewhere. You might get a list of attendees at a trade show or networking type event that you attend, and you can import those leads into Claritysoft, and then you begin to work with them, okay? If you picked up a business card, let's say, somewhere, and you want to put it into Claritysoft, before you enter it, you want to search the database just to make sure that the company that you want to enter is not already in the database. And this is important because you don't want to create a duplicate. It won't let you create a duplicate, but at the same time, before you even start the process, you want to check. Another reason that you want to check, it depends on your rights in the database. It's possible that in your database you might be set to see only those records that are owned by you and not to see anyone else's. You can see here in my database, I can see all the different users or as owners. You may go in and see only your own records. Therefore, you can't see certain companies that are already in the database. So it's good to check to see if, well, maybe someone else is already working with this company, and then you can talk to that person. So what you do to check that is you come to the Spyglass button, and you, instead of going to advanced search, you go to global search, which means you can search globally in the database. If you're in leads, you're only searching in leads, so you want to be sure to click and include accounts and include contacts. That will search all the modules at one time. Then I'm going to click in here, which is again like another quick search, and I'm going to call it New Spring Company. Okay, and I might want to just type New Spring, not the word company. Again, I don't have to press enter or anything. Claritysoft just starts searching after I stop typing. And in this case, I don't want to find anything, okay? If you wanted to narrow it down even, you could just do spring. I get one thing, Springfield Nuclear Power Plant, okay? That's a lead, but it's not New Spring Company. So that's all I'm finding, so that's cool. I don't have any records in here yet, so I can go ahead and add my new company that I have. So I can click cancel to get out of here, and then I can go to new lead, and enter my information. You also are able to add the contact person. Just say owner, and again, if you have a business card, you have the information. Now, here's one that always gets confusing for people. Salutation. Salutation a lot of times means Mr., Mrs., Ms., that kind of thing, but in Claritysoft, salutation field is for the name of the person or the nickname. So for example, maybe Susan goes by Susie, okay? Her real name is Susan, but she goes by Susie. And that's what you would call her if you talked to her on the phone or met her. She just introduces herself as Susie Arnold rather than Susan Arnold, okay? That's what you do. You can put the formal name here, you can put the nickname in the salutation field, and then that, if you're consistent of always filling in either the first name, if she doesn't have a nickname, or the nickname in the salutation field, then you can use this field in email blasts that you do and make your email blasts very personal sounding, okay? The other thing you need to know is if you click on this contact link, it opens up a name box, and you have the first name, you have the middle name, you have the last name, but you also have prefix. And in settings, which you may not be able to do, you can add a drop-down list of prefixes. So what other programs might call a salutation, we call a prefix. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that, because that gets confusing sometimes. And then the same thing with a suffix. You can add a drop-down list of types of suffixes. They could be professional suffixes like MD, PhD, whatever, or they can be things like first, second, third, junior, senior, whatever works in your particular business, okay? So when I've added this Mrs. Susan Arnold, when I click save, notice what it does here. It adds it into the name. So check that out by clicking there. Use the salutation field for either whatever you greet the person with, that's what you should put in there. If you call her Mrs. Arnold because she just demands you to be called Mrs. Arnold, then put that in the salutation field, and then you're good. Okay, and then phone. If there's an extension, put it in. If you know this, if there's a fax, which a lot of people don't use anymore, I'm not going to fill this one in. Contact mode here is a field that's built into Claritysoft. What is your preferred method of contact? You can choose. And I'm hitting the tab key on the keyboard to move from field to field. I'm not moving my mouse. I'm using the tab key. Now this market segment, this is just random stuff. This is a custom field. And then the status field. In the leads module, this is a built-in field for setting the status of the lead so that you can filter. When you first enter a brand new lead, you can set it as a new lead, and then when you start contacting Susan, you can change the status to working. As you work with Susan, the next thing that can happen is she just isn't interested, and then you will get a closed. I'm going to set this to working right now because I'm going to start contacting her. This stage field is customizable, so if you have this and you are using the leads module, you will probably have different choices here. All right, so I'll just do this. And quality is the same way. This is a customizable drop-down list. Yours may be good, may not be. I can't really fill this one in yet because I haven't talked to her, so I don't know. And then lead sources, again, how did she come to you? So maybe she was a referral. And then you will be the owner. So at this point, if I click the save button, Claritysoft saves the record, leaves it open for me, which is really what I want to do, because the next thing I want to do is give her a call. If I do save and close, that's okay, but the company is going to end up down in the list of all your leads, and then you'll have to do the quick search to find it again and reopen it. So just click save, and it's still right here for you to work with. So what I want to do next is I want to call Susan. Phone number here, call her, talk to her, and then I want to log this activity. I want to say I did it. So up here you have shortcut buttons: send email, log an activity, create a new activity, create a new meeting, attachment, and a new document. Well, I want to log an activity. Logging an activity is an activity that's already been completed. So it's pretty quick and simple. This list may be different in your database as well, because it is customizable. Notice it puts the full name here. And then the subject line, you want to put in, well, what was the reason for the call that you made? And it will automatically put the date and time in. And then you put your notes. And You want to put in detailed notes because this not only helps you remember what you talked about, it also might help other people that might come in and see the activity as well. So put in, good notes. Mine aren't necessarily the best because I'm in a hurry, but put in notes. Don't just say initial call. Okay, well, what did you talk about? What was she interested in? What was her, how did she react? Is she interested? Is she not interested? Put that information in there because if you talk to 50 people a day, it's going to be hard to remember. So now I have a closed activity with this initial call. And it shows me I started it today, I completed it today, the status is completed, and Susan Arnold is the user who did it, which is confusing because I'm calling myself. All right. So now let's say I want to schedule a call to call her back. So this time I'm going to do a new activity, and again, your subject line is why am I going to do this activity? Pick the activity that you're going to do. Maybe you want to send her an email. And then you click in the date, select the date. I want to call next Monday, let's say. And if you want to put a time, you can. Phone calls are kind of random. And you also can choose any activity you create can be shown on your calendar in Claritysoft. You can have Claritysoft give you an email reminder a certain number of minutes, hours, days, or weeks ahead of an activity. So since it says weeks here, that should indicate to you that, oh gosh, I could schedule an activity for August or September or December to remind me to call or send an email or to do something. And then depending on the preparation time you need for whatever you're going to do, you can have an email reminder sent to you 2 weeks ahead of the date to say you are supposed to have this ready by this time. So use this to help you. That's the whole purpose of the system, is to help you. Stay on track, not have to have 50 million little pieces of paper stuck on your desk, notes scribbled here, there, and yon, sticky notes all around your monitor, okay? So I'll just put, I'm going to put discuss questions, etc., whatever. So I'm going to put that. So now I have an activity in process or open scheduled for the 13th. And I have a closed activity. All right. So that's how you just start working with your leads, with your accounts, contacts. You can add your activities. I could now do save and close. And when I get back to my list, now here's the other thing you need to understand in leads. I changed my status of my lead from new to working. And right now, I'm only looking at new leads, so I wouldn't find, oh, not there. You're going to say, oh no, what happened? Well, this filter's preventing it from showing up. So I go here and I change my filter to working. There it is. Ah, I'm okay. All right. These are things that you will do accidentally in the database. Don't panic. If you know you typed it in and you saved it, it's there. So it's probably another filter that's preventing you from seeing the record. So just go across the top here and choose things. Say, oh, if you go to all leads, then for sure you're going to see it. And then you can do your new spring, and there it is. So, but just watch these filters up here, because if it's set to new and you change the status to working, it won't show up. Just a warning. Won't have to call tech support in a panic, okay? All right, so let's say we've been working with Susan and she's ready to move forward, all right? So we need to convert her. So we want to come over here to the row action button, this 3 stack lines, and you'll see different things to do, one of which is convert lead. Then it's going to make a possible selection of something to match. I have no idea why it picked that, but we're not going to select it. We're going to come down here and click convert. Then it tells us I'm going to create an account record for New Spring Company. The site field, you'd only put something in if you knew there was another one there, which there is not, to indicate a different location. And the contact person is Susan Arnold, is assigned to the username Susan Arnold, and I want to create an opportunity. Click apply. Now, notice status has been changed to converted. So once you convert a lead, Claritysoft automatically changes it to converted for you. You do not need to do that. And since you're looking at all leads, it stays there in view. If you were looking at working leads, as soon as it does this, it would disappear from view, and that's why, okay, because the status has changed. But you will not come back here anymore to work with New Spring Company. It's a converted lead. You're done with it in the leads module. Now I can go to accounts. And I type in New Spring. There's my account record. My data came across. If I open my record, my phone number, didn't have sector and type in the other one, but my address information all came across, my lead source. Everything comes across from the leads module into the account module, including data that's in custom fields, if I had it set up to do that. My contact person is here with all the information. If I open the contact record will contain the phone number, there's the mobile phone came over, and the address information. So all of that data automatically transfers across. You do not have to retype it. Also, my open activity to call Susan on the 13th is here, and my closed activity of the call that I made today is here. So everything transfers from the leads module into your account and contact. And the difference here now is at the account level for New Spring Company, I can now add additional contacts. In leads, it's one record with one contact, okay? But as you start to work with the company, you may have different people besides Susan that you start to work with. So if I'm here and I need to add a second person, click plus, add John, put his title in, whatever it is. If maybe his nickname is Jay, okay? So if you call him Jay, he goes by Jay rather than John, you can do that. And then you put in his email address, so on and so forth. Okay, so the phone number comes over, the address comes over. If his phone number is different, change it. You can put in his cell phone number, everything that you do. And then you can do a save and close. When you go back to the account record, click on contacts, you now have 2 contacts. So you may add as many contacts as you like to an account record. All right, then we're ready to look at our opportunity. So I'm going to go to the tab, I click on the opportunity number. Now with Claritysoft, when it first creates an opportunity for you, it has to have something to hang on to for the record, so it auto-generates a number. If you want to change this, you can, because numbers sometimes don't mean a whole lot, and your sales opportunity, maybe you want to give it a name. So again, depending on the type of business you are, your name might be new, built like a building project for a particular building name or something like that, or it could be some major installation project that you're doing at a customer site. So you could put that there. So I'm just going to put new big project. All right, it's associated with the account of New Spring Company and the contact of Susan Arnold. Here, this field is customizable. Yours will either say new business, add-on business, or something else that you can pick from. And then sales stages will be different too. This is how you work in your opportunity. You're going to work through your sales stages from step to step to step until you either win it, you lose it, or you reach no decision. And your sales stages may be completely different than what's here. That's fine. That's the way your database is set up. So let's say I'm at the discovery stage right now. I'm still figuring out what they need, but I know I have a potential sale. Close date, important field to pay attention to. This is when you anticipate closing the sale. So take a wild guess. I'm going to keep it within May. Your lead time might be 3, 6, 8 months. Kick it out that far. If you're more of a quicker sale, then you can put it into June or even the end of May. That's where I'm going to leave it for here. This you want to continue to update. Make sure this is updated and accurate, because when you do pipeline reports inside of Claritysoft, it's going to pull up by the close date. So it could be the close date of this month or the close date of next month or the next 3 months. So you want to make sure that you're constantly updating this and making sure it is accurate, so your reports will be accurate when you run them. Referral is still the lead source came across. Now, the amount field. When you first create an opportunity, you can take a guess as to the amount. How much do you think this opportunity is worth? Okay, so I'm just going to type in $5,000 right now. Okay, yours might be $2 million. It depends on your business. The percent probability goes along with the sales stage. So when I change my sales stage, notice this changes. And that's been built in by your admin person, okay? And then this is a custom field here that's going to do a calculation of the percent probability times the amount to get the weighted amount for where we are in the process. And then you can see all the creation date information over here. So I'm going to click Save. Notice now the weighted amount is the 500, which is a 10% times the 5,000. So that's what that does. That's a custom field. All right, so in opportunities, just like in accounts, leads, you can add activities. So I could email Susan from here, send her an email, okay? I can create a new activity and log an activity. So if I did this, I'll just say op call and notes, okay. I have that here. So this will show up inside the opportunity for me, because these are activities specifically related to moving the opportunity forward. So once you've created your opportunities, you can choose to work in the opportunities module and just go down through your opportunities, add your new activities that you're doing with them, change the sales stages, change the close dates, make sure everything is up to date in the opportunity record. And then you just move your way through until maybe you reach the stage for send a quote or quote if you have it. So if we get to this stage, again, I'm going to save it. Then I can take my opportunity and convert it to a quote record. So once I save it, I come up here, click, convert to quotation. Convert. Yes. So now I have got my opportunity set at the quotation stage, or send a quote. And I can do this. So if I go to opportunities module, I'm looking at all my opportunities here. If I do, whoops. And sorry, folks, I'm going over time. I have New Spring Company. Here's my send a quote. There it is. So I have my opportunity. All right. And then I can go to quotations. And oh, I forgot to do something. I forgot to add products. So I'm going to go to Products and Services tab. I'm going to add machines. So again, you may or may not have these pieces of information in your database, but you may have this. So I can choose my products. It will put my item list here, and then I can add what quantities I want. I guess one of each of those is good. And when I put in the amounts here to get the total, when I come back, notice that my amount has changed. So it went from a guess of 5,000 at the beginning to a total of 15,000 once we got going. All right. So let me do a save and close, or actually do a save, and I'm going to reconvert this because it won't have the products. You would put your products in first, then convert. So now I go to quotes, and I've got two here, one for the 5,000. So what I would do here, since I made a boo-boo, I'm just going to delete that one. Okay. So now I have my quote. And again, notice I'm always clicking on this file folder icon. And so I have my quote, which is for the 15,000. Here are my products and services. All right. And I would fill in terms and status and whatever. Again, any other information that needs to be pulled in. If it has to have tax charged, you type your tax rate. If there's shipping and handling, you put that in. And then it will calculate that. Since it's 2 machines, I'm going to make it expensive. Okay. So notice your total now includes the shipping and handling. I'm going to save it. And then within Claritysoft, and this depends on how you're set up. This may go to your ERP system, your accounting system at this point for quotes or sale invoices, or it may stay in Claritysoft. You can create a quotation template, and you are able to customize your own template. So this is a sample to see what the basic one looks like. so that you can design your own. You have the information for where it's going. Let me magnify this a bit for you. Bill to, ship to, who it's submitted by. It would pull in your phone number if you filled it in, the quote number, the date, your products listed here with the tax and the total. Now we would need to add the shipping and handling here, which we can do. So this can all be customized to be, put your logo in, all of that information. So that's there. And then once you've previewed it, you can email it directly to the person from Claritysoft, and it will attach the quote as a PDF file. You can type your note here and then send it. So all that can be done within Claritysoft. And then the same thing can occur once the quote has been accepted. You can convert it to a sale record, and then if you do invoices within Claritysoft, you can create an invoice template and send out that invoice from within Claritysoft and track it all the way through. I've gone too long. I always do on this one, so I apologize for that. If anyone has any questions, take a moment to type them in the Q&A panel. If not, then we will let you go. And thank you for attending and listening. And if you need any help with anything, if you're not working with your implementation specialist, either myself or Linda, then you can call support at the 888-838-7487 extension 2, and they will help you, or you can email them at support@claritysoft.com. And then any comments, questions, critiques, future topic ideas, please email us at info@claritysoft.com. And with that, I will let you go. Have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for attending.